Trust and respect. Words we love to use when it comes to relationships. There's books on this. There's a great book on relationship. I'm segueing here like I always do. It's my ADHD. Trust and respect. There's a book called Love and Respect, where it's like it talks about couples, how the masculine side is more about respect and the feminine side is more about love. And good book. Encourage you to get it. Today, I want to talk about, I read this article in Admired Leadership Field Notes, and they talked about the difficult marriage between trust and respect. So they get into the details of how we interact with these two, and I want to think of them as two different things. So let's dive into trust. When we trust another person, we believe they have the integrity and strength to engage consistently. Respect, on the other hand, the article says, for another person is more of a reflection of admiring them for their abilities or qualities. And the article talks about leadership, and leaders think that trust and respect go hand in hand. Like if I can't trust somebody, then I can't respect them. And if I can't respect them, then how can I trust with them? They're not trustworthy. So here's the facts about it, and what makes it complex is they all hinge on the perception of others' characters and competence. So trust usually comes with character, and competence usually comes with respect. Because I might respect your abilities and what you can do. You're an amazing basketball player. You're in the NBA, but I wouldn't trust you with any of my friends. Wouldn't trust you with my girlfriend. But I respect your ability. There are people that are out there that are like that. I wouldn't trust them, but I can respect them. Now, you could trust a person, but know that they don't have that skill or ability to be able to be competent enough. So I'm not going to respect them in that area, even though they're a trustworthy person, which is awesome. They just don't have that skill or ability enough for me to respect them. I don't admire, that's a good word, admire them. Now, when you treat people with respect, it builds trust, usually in both parties. And being respectful creates the feelings of safety, which allows you to be able to, in that safety, it allows you to be able to be trustworthy. And I'd interviewed Ryan Hawk, and he has a Learning Leader podcast. Sign up for it right now. Encourage you. Amazing interviews. He does amazing interviews with top leaders of the world. And he's like, I automatically just give trust. And it's burned him a few times, but most of the time he's like, if I just give trust right off the bat, like his whole thing is, why should somebody earn trust? That just takes a ton of time. And then it makes it all about me. Why can't I just trust them right off the bat, give clear direction on what they need to do, and then it's up to them. And if they don't trust me, or I can't trust them, then, there's no relationship there. The article says, because trust is something we confer on others. When we do, it influences how we see them, often producing more feelings of respect. Of course, we can trust and respect people in slices or pieces rather than on the whole. And I think we should look at people like that. Think of it like, well, I could probably trust this person about 30%. I could trust this person 90%. And, when you look at respect, they say a person's ability to articulate what they say, but believe they don't know what they're talking about. Yeah, I've seen that. Politicians are good at that, right? They can tell you everything, but is there trust there? I can respect that they give amazing speeches and can pump people up, but I don't trust them to do anything that they say. And loyalty comes into play here too. I mean, you find out that somebody on your team, maybe you get a phone call, somebody on your team from one of your friends said, hey, this person applied here. And you've been thinking they've been happy and doing really good and everything's golden. And then you hear this breaks trust, right? I would hope you would still respect them if they're doing awesome and the work is, if you respect them, then you're going to find out this reason why, have these conversations. See if there's anything that you don't realize that they're needing or wanting. Broken trust, though, that's hard to repair, isn't it? Now, respect can go in and out, right? Like you can respect somebody just for a little bit and then they do something super awesome and then it gives you like, pumps you up more and the level of respect, can go up even more. It's like a video game where you got different levels and, just shoot right up. But trust, man, I know people that have written people off for their whole life. Basically, like, you'll never earn my trust again. And he says this in the article. He says, just when we thought there was a simple marriage between two concepts that clearly go hand in hand, we learn upon reflection that our assumptions are not so solid. And this is the thing, that assuming something without having the truth is not what I heard from somebody else. I need to verify that truth, find out, do a little bit of digging before I make an assumption on something. I don't like, it's an ass out of you and me, assumptions. They say the complex nature of trust and respect explains in part why leadership is so hard. Leaders must give and earn trust and respect. So here's this giving and earning and giving. Then again, if leadership was easy, everyone would do it, right? I think a simple thing to do is ask somebody, what makes you feel safe enough that you could trust someone? That's a great, when you're coaching with somebody. What do you admire in someone the most who you're working with? Let them tell you, and then you can display. They just gave you the secrets right there. Those two questions gave you the secrets of how to earn their trust and respect. And this is a number one thing to do when you first happen upon a job and you're talking to your boss. You need to ask those two questions. Would you like me to communicate? Do you prefer emails, texts, phone calls? What's the best way to communicate with you? And what do you prefer? That's the first question. You got to have good communication. Number two, what does trust and respect look like to you? How do you usually trust somebody that you work with? And then what makes you respect that person? Listen, get those answers, write them down, memorize them, and then that gives you a roadmap. And I love what they say here. If leadership was easy, everyone would do it. That's because it's a skill and it takes learning. You have to be that learning leader, right? You need to read leadership books. You need to understand this because this affects every part. You need to be a leader in your home. You need to be a leader when circumstances go wrong and a situation happens or breaks out. You can be the leader. You can have that confidence because you're practicing this every single day. Leadership is a skill. It takes time to develop, and you have to, like basketball or anything else, golf, you have to do it over and over and over again every single day. Be self-aware enough to know the mistakes you make. Work on those. And learn over time. Learn over time what it takes to be an awesome leader. Ask people. Find mentors. Sit them down. Leaders that you trust and respect. See if you can have a conversation with them. Ask them. Say, hey, what made you so successful as a leader? Get 10, 15, 20 questions. Write them out. Just don't wing it. And sit down with them for some coffee. And say, do you mind? I want to ask you these questions. They're not going to mind. You're going to learn. It's just like pure gold. That's why I love talking to older leaders. Yeah, we may not agree with their politics. Yes, we may not agree with some of their actions or some of the things that they do, but they have wisdom. That's what history's about, right? Read older leadership books. Go back into the 1700s, the 1800s, the 1900s. Find the mistakes that they made, the character flaws that they had, and learn from those. But most importantly, you have to live a life of trust and respect, and you have to earn that with others.
Thank you for joining us on the Albuquerque Business Podcast. And thanks to our sponsor, RigbyDigital.com. Make sure sure to subscribe and share and go to abqpodcast.com. Get show notes, resources, and links to everything we talked about today to help you navigate your journey as an entrepreneur and business owner.